But I find the thing that lacks the most detail in the game would be passing, receiving them, catch and passing. Just being a good passer, and that could be just a maybe detail that they just don't think it's important. It's not hammered down to them enough, whatever, or they don't think it's important yet, right? So that would be the biggest one that I think outside of this one. And I know it's going to sound ridiculous to some people, but it's just the basic art of communication, man. It's, and we've said this a lot of times on our podcast, but it's so frustrating. It's like, I'm not joking. Me and Dale just sit there on a daily basis and go, what is wrong? So yesterday we had like both of our groups. Well, no, the first one was not bad. They were younger, but then it starts to go where you say hi to someone, it should be hi coach. Like it's just that, right? You have a normal communication where it's just lacking. That's just the normal stuff on the ice. And I'm saying this. This is more often than not. It's just the communication's not there. They're quiet. Like the ice is like they don't. It's almost like they don't know each other. They're not comfortable with each other, and this is, I'm talking guys that play on the same teams and stuff. It's like the ice is so quiet, and it happens more often than not. So you go out there and it's like the energy is not there, at least you don't hear it. So it's like it's not the hockey that I'm used to, or like, and then that's what I'm saying with that older group we have, to it just drops. And I've been saying this for a long time, and like I said, I don't know if it was a COVID thing, I don't know if it's coaching, but I'm gonna just like, there's so many reasons that it's important, but like I just want parents and coaches to like really, really, and players to focus on the simple task of communicating. Like it's amazing. Like, does everybody understand the drill? And you get eyes staring at you, not a head shake, not a yes, not a no. It's just blank eyeballs. Well, what does that mean to you? No, that's what it means to me. So you have to ask. Oh, I'll explain again. So then the same, like everybody understand this, and like I'll go step by step, right? Okay, blah 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 blah. This happens. Everyone got it. So I have to say yes or no, guys. Like simple.
I was doing the same. I was doing
Very
the same,
simple.
Same thing on the ice yesterday.
Yeah, but very simple. Yes or no.
Yeah.
Hi, coach. You guys have how was the skate? How was this? It's like nothing. It's like, what's going on? So
Okay, so let me pause it. So two things for me come to mind of why that is, and like the whole spiel I just went on about not having the time with the same group. Do you think that, I know it is also just the group is different. Like I know the same thing, but like if we go back to, let's say, like 2014, how many, like for the groups that you would have doing your camps, how many of the same kids were you consistently seeing in the groups?
turning people away, it was the same guys all the time.
Okay,
Like
so
like I'm talking, everything's never had a empty camp ever.
right.
It was the highest quality players all the time. It was consistent.
So you were saying seeing the same guys.
Basically from 2000, like till they graduated on the NHL and they didn't come back. It's the same guys all the time. I remember one day, or for 1 week, I had 54 guys that either played pro or junior on the ice at the same time because someone screwed up my schedule and double booked guys. But we made it work, and they were good because we can make it work.
Yeah.
We had 54 NHL, junior, and college guys on the ice at once.
I remember that day. But that
week.
Yeah, that week. Okay, so
made it work though.
But my point being, because you got to see them, the same people over and over and over, that exact point I made about they get to feel more comfortable. They get to feel like they know you.
This is true, but when you play hockey, you're playing hockey. You're not sitting at a table,
right? Yeah,
having roast beef.
Yeah.
Right, and trying to mind your manners and stuff. Right, and can I have another glass of milk, please? Like you don't have to be shy about that. You want the puck. It's hockey now. Right? So
glass of milk.
Well, yeah. Can I have another glass of milk?
You ever been somebody at a restaurant that orders a glass of milk with dinner?
No. Well, probably. It's weird.
It is weird.
I think it's weird.
It is weird. A glass of eating roast beef.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? But like when you're on the ice and it's like you're doing something that's hockey, it's like doesn't matter what the face is, how old, how big. It's like, hey.
Yeah, I do agree.
Do you understand? Okay, do you understand the drill? Just because you're don't know people, that doesn't mean you don't know the answer.
So do you definitely see a difference between, like, let's go back 2012, 2013,
Definitely,
2014?
1000%.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about that.
Really?
big time.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
And
I'm the same.
because here's the other thing, right? You what was the other thing? No, the other thing is that because when you are communicative or you're a hockey player, like a true hockey player, then you understand that when you come into the room and you're the new guy, you're smart enough to say, "Hey, Eric, how you doing, man? Sit here." Like this guy is this guy, you know, and you get on the ice and you make sure that you're comfortable. Another important thing, actually a really important thing. So my son went to his first pro camp, right? So he was with the Red Wings, and I asked him after. I said, or maybe no, after. I said, this is the one talk I always talk with kids about. Is like when you go to a camp or you go to a team, make sure that you feel like, or make sure that you make the new people feel like they're important, or someone that may be from an outsider that's not in the group, make them feel important. Don't make them feel like they don't belong, right? So because one day you're going to be the new guy, and when you're the big shot now, one day you're not the big shot, and it'll mean the world to you to have someone that's been there once or twice before, someone that has a big name, say, "Hey, how you doing?" and make you feel like you belong. Because you could be a first round pick and everything's great, or you could be the last round pick and it's like maybe you don't feel as comfortable, right? So I mentioned that to him, and he goes, "No, these guys were great." Like he goes, like the guys that are supposed to be good dudes made you feel like. He said Steve Eisenman walked up to him while he was having lunch. Day two, walked up to him and said, "Hey, Charlie, really glad to meet you. I haven't had a chance to shake your hand yet. My name is Steve." Oh,
Oh, never heard of
but
you.
hey, no, but like
Yeah.
that's leadership. That's one of the
Yeah.
greatest hockey players in the history of the world. He didn't walk around like I'm the general manager of the Detroit Red Wings, kiss my ass. He was smart enough and good enough and wore a C for a reason that he went up to a kid, all kids. I'm not saying he went up to my kid only, but he went out of his way. And then during the camp, he got feedback all the time from somebody in the organization. Good, like do that, don't do this, right? But that's what hockey is. This is the greatest thing in the world. If you understand how to do this properly, guys, like this is how I'm going to end this. Okay, communication is important. Doing everything right's the right way. If you go somewhere and you make someone feel important, then you'll make a lasting impression for the rest of their life. If you go on the ice and you respond to a coach, the coach is going to sit there and say, I like that kid," because you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Or at worst, if you're at the highest level, you're going to be normal. You're not going to be odd, right? In a bad way. But the greatest thing about this is like because I've kind of seen this come full circle, even though I haven't seen it come completely full circle because I've got my kid, right? So I'm going. I've watched people older than me go through it. I've watched myself go through it. I've coached it. I've coached kids, and I'm watching my son get to basically the highest level that you possibly can. And what I can tell you, this folks, coaches, moms, dads, players, is that if you do this the right way, you have more life experience by the time you're 18 years old. You'll be able to, like, is it a wonder, right? So you get a kid, you go to your first college camp, or you go to your first OHL camp, or you go to your first NHL camp. You get dropped off at a rink. Because I was looking at my kid doing that, right? Going to Detroit. Doesn't know anybody, right? That's hockey, though. But, like, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, whatever, what's a big deal?" No, no. Drop your kid off out of town when they're 16 or at a pro camp. They don't know anybody. You hope to hell that for your own kid's sake that he's been good to people so that he can get that reciprocated so he doesn't feel like shit or he learns a lesson. But my point to that is that you're learning lessons all the time. You move away. So you wonder why hockey players or athletes can walk into rooms and get jobs or walk into rooms and talk to people. They've been doing it their whole life. But the key is to talk. If you walk into rooms and you sit there and you don't communicate, you don't teach your kids that, or you don't, as a coach, you don't send that message down to communicate and be nice and give these little messages, then when they do end this hockey thing, whether it's the highest level or not, they haven't built any skills. You know what I mean? So I know, like, I'm quite confident with all the kids that we train, my kid and all that stuff, like when hockey's done, when they go and meet the big bad boss of where they're at, they're going to be able to shake their hand, look them in the eye and talk and tell them some life experience and have something to say. Right? They're going to be in uncomfortable situations, but they've been in uncomfortable situations for years, and more and more. I mean, you're naked with people you don't know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you're hung like a donkey, it's fine. You walk around like you're king shit. But if it's the opposite, man, like that's just no. But I know this is funny, but right. But if you're not, you're sitting there
Yeah.
going, okay, I got to gear down here. It's a thing, man. Right? It's a thing.
Yeah.
So these are the lessons you learn in life. And then what happens is by the time you get to 20 some years old, if you put some actual effort into being communicative and putting effort in and meeting people and doing it the right way, like everything else is a cakewalk. You know what I mean? So that's why like I'm huge on the communication. Obviously, number one for hockey, because without the communication, it just doesn't work. Number two, to learn how to talk to older people and have respect and be a good human, like not a good human, but someone that could have a conversation where you stand out and build a skill for life. And then doing an uncomfortable thing, like taking someone that you know is, this guy might get picked on, or this guy is an outsider, or all these things, is just make him feel like he's not a loser, and just say, hey, if you need anything, come and see me. Just shake your hand, stuff like that goes a long way. Do you wonder why guys have success in life? Right? You wonder? It's like if you start doing this kind of stuff when you're 8, not start at 18, you become a man real quick, and you can function in society real well. And then and the other side of it is that you see like another part of like coming full circle is as you go through this hockey thing, you're gonna be able to read people like you couldn't believe, right? Because you're gonna have someone look you right in the eye. Guy parts his hair to the side, looks like a real honest person, and tell you how great you are and that this is what we're gonna do for you, Garrick. And the next day he goes and does the exact opposite, and you go, what? You're gonna look at people's bad intentions, good intentions. You're gonna be able to sort out people that are good people, bad people, if you have the ability to do this the right way. And it's huge. It's huge. And then the other thing is that you know, there's so many people that I know that they get their feelings hurt on all kinds of different things. It's like you play this game and you do it the right way. You understand where people's motives are. You understand what people do to get ahead, and laziness, and you'll be able to weed out who's a pretender and who's not, and then you just go through life a lot easier.